Welcome to The Sound Barrier, Northeast State's official podcast, where we will be breaking the barrier by getting to know some of our staff and faculty. This is your host, April Allen, and joining us today is Dawn Carter, Director of Student Services in Kingsport. Thank you for being with us today, Dawn.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. It's good to see you. It's been so long.
It's been a while, yes.
Yeah, so glad we can catch up. At least, we'll use this as an excuse to do that.
That's right.
So, Dawn, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and your journey to Northeast State.
So I am a native of this area. I'm a graduate of Tennessee High School several years ago. And I made my way to Northeast State in the early 90s, as a matter of fact. And I'm kind of telling my age now. But anyway, so that was my first introduction to Northeast State, and I was a student here. So I am a graduate, and it just always felt like home. So I've made several career moves, but probably about 10 years ago, I found my passion, and that is higher education. And I was working at a four-year university and had the opportunity to come back to Northeast State, and I jumped on that because this is home.
Mm-hmm. I understand that feeling completely.
Yes.
I didn't even realize you were a graduate of Northeast State, so
yes.
That's really cool.
I am.
You just couldn't get away.
I couldn't get away. That's right. I just kept coming back.
Yeah. And since you are a graduate, and speaking of graduation, that's your favorite Northeast State event. Can you tell us why that's your favorite event?
That is my favorite event, and I always tell students when I tell them that's my favorite event, I tell them it's not because we're losing you or getting rid of you as a student, but rather it's a reflection time, and usually I would say every graduation that I've participated in since being employed at Northeast State, I always see at least one person that has been in my office and that I feel like maybe I had just a small impact on their success and their journey here. And so to see that elation in them at graduation, they're excited, their families are excited, we're excited for them. And that it's, one small step to changing their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a pretty awesome event.
It really is. It's very rewarding.
It is. It is.
Yeah. It's like seeing the fruits of your labor
in front of you. That's right. Mm-hmm. I always say it's selfishly rewarding because, it makes me feel good.
Well, I don't think that's selfish. I think it's just a reminder of why you're here and why you do what you do.
True.
So, with all the many students that you have assisted throughout the years and, they pursue their education journey and not knowing where to start, what to pursue, many of us struggle with that. And you mentioned that you struggle with that, or you struggled with that. What advice would you give to our listeners on how to finding your passion, on how to deal with that and make sure you just get on the right path?
That is very difficult, especially for younger students that don't have a lot of maybe work experience that they can build off of, or even work experience that you can say, I definitely don't want to do that for the rest of my life. But I think it's important to find something that makes you feel really good about yourself, something that you're passionate about. If it's helping people, then find an area that you can be employed and help people in some way. So I think it's important for a career choice to be rewarding.
Absolutely.
In some way.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because if you don't enjoy what you do, you're not going to enjoy life as much.
Yes, I always say I never come to work. It's so much more than work here. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important, and I wish everybody could find that early on so that you can spend your entire career doing that.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a little bit of digging deep and finding out what's important to you.
Right, and trying things out and living and learning.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, because I struggled with that myself, right out of high school. But you mentioned loving what you do. My grandmother always says, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's true. That's exactly how I feel.
So, and that's how life should be. You should enjoy it. You also went on to pursue your bachelor's.
I did.
And your master's while taking care of a family.
That's true.
So that's a lot to juggle. And I can't speak from my own experience because I haven't been there. But what can you offer our listeners advice, words of wisdom and encouragement to help those who are doing the same thing that you did?
Be prepared to prioritize and realize that if you make that commitment, there's going to be some things that just aren't going to be happening anymore. Some events with your family that you're going to have to walk away from, some time that you would spend with your kids that you're not going to have. But know that there is a goal at the end. And also have a good village ready for you, because you're going to need that help, especially if you have children at home. And, when you need to be away from them, you need that help. So that would be my advice.
Good advice. So now that you have downtime, you've achieved all, educational desires and everything. What do you like to do in your spare time?
So I'm pretty boring, but I love to read, and I also love to work in my yard. So being outside, I love. It's so relaxing to me, even though it's hard work. I love it, and it just gives me time that I can just think about things other than stressful things.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, those are two of my favorite things too,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
What kind of work do you do in your yard? Like, do you plant flowers?
I do. And last year during the pandemic, I decided that I would plant some tomato plants because I've never been a gardener. My dad's a farmer, but so he brought me a few tomato plants over, and they flourished.
Awesome.
So I actually got the bug. I'd love to have a garden. Don't know that I'll venture out that far, but I just like making sure my yard looks nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, take pride in your work.
Exactly.
You and I share the same fear, one of the same fears, and that's a fear of heights. Although, unlike you, I have not taken the bold leap that you did and actually gone parasailing. I guess my question is, since you're afraid of heights, why and what made you do that? Tell us that experience.
Yeah, so the first time was in Acapulco, and I was with a group of friends, and they all did it. And we started walking down the beach away from the place that you take off. And my thought was, will I ever be here again? And will I ever have this experience again? And it kept coming back to me, probably not. So you should do it. And so I decided, I said, I'm going to do it. So we walked back, and I did it. And the second time was, I had gone to the Bahamas, and my daughter said, the only activity I want to do is parasailing, and I want you to do it with me, Mom. And I thought, I can't be doing this again. But now I'm so grateful that I did, because looking back on it, we laugh about the experience, and it's just something that we share. So I'm glad I did.
So are you still afraid of heights?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You just do it scared, right?
Right.
Well, I admire you for that. I don't know that that'll ever be something I'll try to do, but you never know.
Just go for it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it together.
There you go.
Since you're experienced.
Yes.
So I like to end the interview with a random question.
Okay.
So don't worry, it's not too hard. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Well, that's easy. For me, it would be Katie Couric. And the reason being, I love the fact that, when in her field, she's such a trailblazer. So that's one reason why I love her.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love her tenacity and her spunk, and, she has such a zest for life. And she actually has one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to a lot, because I think she just has amazing interview skills. And I just would like to pick her brain and see, how do you have all this happiness and just zest for life. And so, yeah, I'd really like to sit down and have a conversation with her.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good pick. You got two more.
Oh, okay. Gosh. Wow. You didn't tell me I had more than one.
I'm sorry. I thought I said three.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So I also think that, to be honest, I have one of my childhood heroes is Richard Petty.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so I know he's getting up in years, and I would really enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have gotten to meet him before, but I'd love to have dinner with him and talk to him a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah. Great
Yeah.
picks.
And at this point, I guess I would probably have to say I'd love to have dinner with my grandparents again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can never have enough time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good choices. That
Yeah,
sounds
so
like
I'd like to have that opportunity.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a good plan, a good party.
We would have a good time.
Oh, yeah, I'd say so. Well, we're so glad you joined us today, Dawn. It was good to pick your brain and get to know you a little bit more. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. And be sure to tune in next time as we continue to break the barrier.